What's good, everybody? Your boy Jadiro here, and I'll be going over what I think will be the best builds for Druid in Season 5 for Diablo 4. As you can see here, I have noted July 1st for all of these with Season 5. I couldn't select Season 5 at the time, but this is when I made those builds. This is when the PTR was out, and this is when I had time to make them. So here we have the first build I want to go over here. It's called the Shockwolves build. This is my companion build for Druid. Now, it was a little hard to test the strength of it, but it did pretty high pits on the PTR. But it was hard to test because the pit boss was kind of bugged and they were taking a crazy amount of damage. But as you can see here, we have the Spirit Bonds aspect, which can, this is one of the new aspects that are going to come in Season 5 to Druid. This is one of the concepts and proof of concepts that I'm going to go. It's going to be called Season 5 Shockwolves. And this is one build I'm looking forward to introducing as a leveling build and an endgame build. Next up, we had a build called the Storm Wolf build. Now, these are all tentative to change, right? But this was a Lightning Storm build, basically circling around the werewolf. And as you can see, I got the Locran's Talisman. This is a Season 5 item. And then I also got Bjorn's Fangs. I think this will be a ring in Season 5, but I had the concept here. I think it's going to be pretty sweet. It did a lot of damage. Actually, funny enough, the companions did a lot more damage than this build. But I can't wait to see this build fully fleshed out now that we can put probably the aesthetic wraps in the glove slot as opposed to the Bjorn's Fangs. And we can put the Bjorn's Fangs ring on our ring. In our ring slot. All right, next up we have the Season 5 Bear Poppy build. Now, this is an upgraded version of the build I already had out. It's a pulverized build, and as you can see here, we have the Lucian crown, which got heavily nerfed, but I think it'll still be strong. And there's also some other items I want to add to this, and then I'll also talk about in the buff section what I want to see for Druid going forward. And last but not least here, guys, we have the Season 5 Bear Slide. Again, names are subject to change, and this is pretty much an Earth Bear build. So what I'm focusing on here is straying away from the storm skills and just trying to keep it earth and bear and do damage that way. Now, the game plan I'm going through with Druid for this season is to simply focus on Druid as opposed to making multiple classes and making a build guide for all of them. Just kind of want to focus on one class this season and see what happens. And if I do have time, maybe I'll make other builds for other classes. But for right now, I just want to focus on Druid. I really don't feel like this season will last as long as the other seasons did, especially Season 4. I believe that the only thing that will carry this game will simply be the new items and the new uniques. Now, the Infernal Horde mode, I think, will be cool. It's kind of hard to say what we'll see. They only changed it after the fact of the PTR, so it'll be hard to see what actually happens going forward in the actual season. Now, big ups to the other content creators that are able to crunch numbers and make builds even before the season is live. Like, big ups to you guys. But what I really want to do is give you guys actual factual numbers when the game is live. But let's move on to the next segment of this short video. What I want to see for Druid going forward for Diablo 4. Now, the first thing I want to talk about for Druid and seeing buffs in the future, like, I don't know if Blizzard will see this, but hopefully putting this video out there gets it into the ecosystem. And maybe other content creators will see this and maybe they can chime in and tell me if they think that's cool or what I'm saying is correct, or even if it's incorrect. And if you guys think if anything I'm saying is incorrect or correct, let me know down in the comments. Now, back to the point here, guys. The first thing I want to talk about here is the aspect of the Earth Sign Horror and the Shockwave aspect. Now, what I think would be really cool is if they made the Earth Sign Horror aspect and the Shockwave aspect one. Let's call it the Shockwave of the Earth Sign or the Earth Sign Shockwave. And what this will do will make Pulverize an Earth skill, and it will allow Pulverize to create a Shockwave that does 150% damage. Now, why I'm saying to put this in the game is because it frees up something like our gloves or our necklace or even our two-handed weapon to put one aspect on to get Pulverize doing what we want it to do. Now, on to my next point. Now, I remember in the live stream that they just recently talked about, it's going to be hard to kind of give us the tempering that rogues and barbarians have. As of now, barbarians can carry two two-handed weapons and two one-handed weapons. So what that means is that every time that they have an aspect imprinted on their two-handed weapon, they're getting 100% times multiplier to that aspect, on top of the one-handed weapons that they can put more aspects on. Not only that, but it gives the barbarian additional items to temper affixes onto. Now, to me, that sounds like Barbarian and Rogue will always be the strongest classes in Diablo 4, strictly for that reason. Again, not as many as the Barbarian, but the Rogue has a two-handed weapon and two one-handed weapons. So additional aspects and additional temper affixes. Now, the only solution I could think of, because I remember them saying that giving us two-handed weapons or two two-handed weapons is too hard to do, it's going to mess up the game, essentially. The only thing I could think of in the case of Druid is maybe while having a two-handed weapon, we have a totem. We can carry a totem in our offhand. Now, I know that's crazy because now no one's ever going to carry a one-handed weapon and a totem again. Now, the only solution I could see there is maybe make the totem deal no damage. You can imprint aspects and you can temper affixes on there. but I think that's only one step closer to the strength of Barbarian and Rogue. Now, the only other solution I could think that they're holding out for, and I don't want to use this as a scapegoat, is that they're planning on reworking the Druid. Now, I'm going to go into fantasy world here, but imagine as opposed to just having Werebear and Werewolf form, we got a form for Storm skills and Earth skills. Maybe the developers can draw inspiration from the Spirit Boons. Like we can have a Were Snake form or a Were Eagle form. And then we could probably stack shape-shifting and nature magic skills on top of those forms. Now, again, this is just me dreaming, but I think that'd be cool in comparison to what the Spiritborn is capable of. I kind of feel like the Spiritborn is the Druid 2.0. And I kind of sound like a Druid enjoyer here because I am. Now, I'm not hating, man. I love the Druid. I think they have the potential to make this class really sick. I think it just needs some minor tweaks here and there. And yeah, very well might need a rework. But I digress, guys. I'm looking forward to Season 5, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys there. I'm also looking forward to the Vessel of Hatred. I really want to see what they're capable of doing, and maybe, hopefully, by then, we can get those buffs the Druid needs. Now, I have seen the buffs on the patch notes. I think they're cool. I don't think they're enough, of course. I love Druid. I want to see Druid pulverize and smash away, or even do some more cool builds with companion builds, or see these aspects get worked around to really start to make sense. So to bring it home here, guys, I really want to see Druid get the love it deserves. And I want to say a big thank you to everyone that always shows up and supports the channel, guys. Thank you so much. And feel free to like and subscribe if you want to, but you don't have to, man. I'm just happy if this brought you any kind of value, or if you guys simply just enjoyed this video. But that does it for me, guys. I'm your boy Jajiro. Sign up for now. Peace.